major investor is currently looking at the wrong number. They are keeping an eye on Nvidia's quarterly revenue, and they are keeping track of the floating point operations per second, or flops, of the Blackwell architecture. They assume that as long as TSMC can print transistors onto a piece of silicon, that the artificial intelligence paradigm will scale forever. They are completely wrong. Right now, deep inside the advanced clean rooms of Asia and America, the entire $1 trillion AI build-out is colliding with its physical limits. A constraint so severe that even if you handed Jensen Huang an infinite supply of GPU dies, the system could not calculate a single token any faster. It is an architectural choke point that computer scientists have been fearing for decades. For the past 10 years, microchip processing speeds have doubled nearly every 2 years, but the speed at which data can travel from storage into the processor has been lagging persistently. And in an era of large language models, we've created a paradox. We've built a sports car engine, but we are fueling it up through a drinking straw. While the market focuses on who designs the fastest chip, a shadow cartel of specialized infrastructure manufacturers has quietly seized absolute pricing power over the entire supply chain. The GPU bottleneck is over. A new infrastructure supercycle has officially begun. Ask yourself, what will happen to the $1 trillion valuations of big tech if the hardware physically cannot calculate data any faster? What happens when the raw compute speed doubles, but the execution speed completely stalls? The entire system stalls with it. To understand why the entire AI infrastructure is fundamentally exposed, we need to look back at the structural flaw that dates back to 1945. Almost every modern computer relies on von Neumann architecture. It's a simple design. You have a processing unit that executes the calculations and a separate memory unit that holds the data. Every time the chip needs to perform an operation, it must fetch the data from storage, pull it across a physical copper interconnect, compute it, and then write it back. For standard computing, this works perfectly, but for artificial intelligence, well, that operates on a completely different scale. A large language model consists of hundreds of billions of weights and parameters that must be accessed repeatedly, simultaneously, and at near zero latency. When a GPU needs to run an interference query, the actual computing cores spend a massive portion of their time completely idle. They are literally sitting in terminal purgatory, starved of data, waiting for the information to travel across the physical distance between the chip and the data array. This is the definition of being interconnect bound. According to recent industry data, over the last 2 years, AI chip processing power has expanded by over 300%. In stark contrast, data delivery bandwidth has only increased by 160%. The gap between compute capacity and data delivery is widening at an exponential rate, and this structural mismatch carries an immense financial cost. Moving data back and forth across that tiny physical gap consumes up to 80% of the total energy footprint of a modern hyperscaler data center. They're burning power grids down just to move data a fraction of a millimeter. Think about it. What happens to Microsoft, Google, and Meta when they have to tell Wall Street that 80% of their skyrocketing capital expenditure isn't going towards training the next generation of artificial intelligence, but it's being lost in heat? The economic model of AI infrastructure instantly breaks. But the semiconductor industry knew this crisis was coming, and their temporary solution turned a standard commodity into the most fiercely contested asset class on Earth: high bandwidth stacking. Instead of placing data chips several centimeters away from the GPU on a traditional motherboard, engineers completely threw out the old layout. They took ultra-thin DRAM dies, stacked them vertically on top of each other like a little skyscraper, and placed them directly into the exact same silicon substrate as the GPU itself. To connect them, they drill microscopic vertical tunnels directly through the silicon. Lined with copper, these are called through-silicon vias. The result is a massive multi-lane superhighway that sits microns away from the processing core. It allows the multi-advanced architectural stacks to deliver over a terabyte per second of data bandwidth, which effectively keeps the GPU fed. But this layout is a manufacturing nightmare. Building an integrated vertical stack requires an advanced process called chip-on-wafer-on-substrate packaging, which is heavily monopolized by TSMC. The production yield is notoriously low because the components are bound directly to the GPU. If a single layer in the 8 or 12 stack unit has a microscopic defect, the entire package, including the multi-$1,000 NVIDIA GPU next to it, becomes instant electrical waste. This high manufacturing complexity has created a state of absolute artificial scarcity. The major fabricators didn't build massive new production facilities during the capital expenditure down cycles of the early 2020s. Now, new physical foundries won't be online until late next year, at the absolute earliest. The multi-trillion-dollar AI build-out is completely bottlenecked by an engineering process called zero margin for error. Which brings us to the ultimate question for any macro investor. Where is the capital actually flowing? While retail investors chase the daily volatility of the NVIDIA chart, smart money is quietly identifying the companies that control the physical materials and the switching architecture behind this bottleneck. The primary battle is being waged among the tight group of hardware titans. First is Micron. Micron has pulled a massive strategic maneuver by locking up its entire calendar 2026 high bandwidth supply under strict advanced price and volume agreements with major hyperscalers. They are completely sold out. This unprecedented demand has driven Micron's share price on a historic run, smashing right past the 1,000 per share mark. Because advanced stacking requires up to 3 times the physical wafer consumption as ordinary hardware to produce the exact same amount of data bits, Micron has engineered a massive supply squeeze that is driving overall sector revenues past the estimated $440 billion this year, a staggering 30% year-over-year increase. Ask yourself, what will happen to your portfolio if you are sitting entirely on high-flying chip designers, while the physical suppliers who own the manufacturing yield and the advanced silicon package have absolute pricing power? If you aren't tracking the capital flowing into the hardware that's fixing the bottleneck, you're trading with your eyes closed. Then, there's a structural shift towards Compute Express Link or CXL switching systems. Next generation architectures are realizing that stacking hardware directly on the chip isn't enough to scale tomorrow's AI clusters. This has brought in infrastructure players like Marvell Technologies into the spotlight. Marvell has gone on a historic parabolic tear up past $215 a share, driven entirely by Wall Street's realization that their data center optical interconnects and CXL switching networks are non-negotiable. Their newly deployed Structera CXL switches allow data centers to pool terabytes of external capacity via PCIe channels, completely bypassing traditional distance limitations and slashing latency under 460 nanoseconds. And finally, the packaging bottleneck itself is forcing massive industrial expansion. Companies providing advanced thermal dissipation systems and high-precision testing equipment for stacking silicon are seeing unprecedented order flows because a chip trapped behind a data wall is ultimately a depreciating asset. The transition from early-stage AI training to mass commercial reasoning is completely rewriting the rules of global hardware dominance. In the first phase of the boom, raw computing power was king. Whoever possesses the most raw flops won the contract. But as the world moves towards continuous real-time agentic workflows, the metric that dominates economic viability is no longer how fast the processor can think, it is how efficient the processor can be fed. The companies that control the packaging, the high bandwidth stacks and the interconnect fabrics are the true gatekeepers of the next macroeconomic era. They hold the pricing power, they hold the supply agreements, and they hold the keys to the entire build-out. Because solving the data delivery bottleneck on traditional silicon is only a temporary fix, the ultimate escape from the physical hardware ceiling isn't just a redesign of the terrestrial architecture, it's an expansion of the planet entirely. In the next episode of the Shadow Titans, we are going to be diving in headfirst into the most anticipated historic event in financial markets history. We are breaking down the numbers behind the massive $2 trillion SpaceX IPO. We will analyse the raw mechanics of the XAI Starlink consolidation, separate the market hype from the financial realities of the massive capital expenditure, and show you exactly where the institutional smart money is placing its bets ahead of the opening bell on the 12th of June. The greatest reshuffling of market capital is about to begin. Do not get left behind. This is Sundance from MyStockHarbor. Keep your course steady, guys.